Hello, I'm here with Brenda Salgado today. This is part of our offerings for the uh, Fairy Congress Global. And we're here to interview Brenda today to find out what she'd like to bring to the Fairy Congress Global coming this January. Hi, Brenda.
It's good to see you again,
Good to
even if
see
it's in Zoomlandia.
you. I know, right? It's always wonderful to see you anytime. How you doing?
Just appreciating the season, solstice, holidays, Christmas, time with family, slowing down, the fire ceremony with circle. Just it's been a good time of reflection, offering gratitude for the good things in this year, which included Fairy Congress in person. That was my first Fairy Congress in person. That was such a joy. So yeah, it feels like a good time of slowing down, reflecting, being in gratitude. Yeah.
Yeah.
I think about a lot about this country of the United States. I know this is a global thing that we're doing in January, but I also think a lot about how just as there's people of different races that have come to this country, there's also Fae of different lineages and parts of the globe that are also here and intermixing, right, and have their own relationships they're figuring out as that transition happens. I know there's Fae that are specific to place, but there's also Fae that travel with people.
Yes.
And so because we've had so many immigrants coming to this country over so many years, there's the blending of that too. And we don't think about that in the same way, right? That how do we remember to be indigenous to place and learn to be in right relationship with the non-human realm? And that includes the trees, the animals, but also includes spirit beings, that if we're going to learn to be in right relationship in place, we have to be in relationship to them too, and be curious and listening and partnering with them. So yeah, that felt like that was a gift to me too, to learn from others about what they know about the Fae from their lands, and knowing that they're part of our family. All of them are part of our family, and that remembering is so important right now. Yeah,
it really is.
I'm excited about January because I'll get to meet some more folks. I know that in person and so it's different that way. And so just a little bit about what I'm going to be sharing about then. So last time when I was there, we did an intensive on Toltec breath and energy practices, and we're going to focus on one very specific thing in this time. So I'll be working on Toltec Totonalcayos, so that's what we would call the chakras, the energy centers. So we'll be talking a little bit about how we balance, heal, and align our Totonalcayos, which is our version of the chakras. And that allows also our Coyopa, our Ihioto, our life force energy, to be flowing freely in a good way. So similar to Kundalini alignment in other traditions, but it's a little bit different in our traditions, our understanding and language around it. So we'll be doing a lot of breath and sound work and clearing our chakras and then aligning them. And what's really different about the way we think about it is that we're partnering in very respectful and loving ways with specific animal and plant energies to do that. They help us to align our Totonalcayos and have our energy centers strong, and to have that life force flowing in a healthy way in our bodies. So we'll be learning a little bit about that. And all of them are animals, except for one. There's a little bit of difference in the way we think about them. So we're working with different energies of the jaguar to clear ancestral old winds. We're working with the serpent energy to clear our creative life force energy centers, with the eagle to be in our path of destiny. And the one that's not an animal is the poinsettia, as we call it in English, that we're working with that in our chest area, to be flowering on our path of destiny with more grace, with more beauty, with more ease. And then we're working with hummingbird energies to clear our staff of power. We're working with the crocodile and the turtle energies, the coyote energies. So it's a really different way of thinking about chakras, and that's why I think it relates to Fairy Congress, right? Because it's about our relationship with the non-human realm. And how they can support us in our well-being, but only if we're in the right relationship. So that's what I'll be sharing a little bit about. And then the other thing I wanted to share about the about the poinsettia in particular, my friend Grace Sesma, who has a website called Curanderismo, the Healing Art of Mexico. She talks a lot about our traditions pre-colonization. So she talks about this, which we would have called the Cuetlaxochil. This was a divine gift, an acknowledgement that had been given to humanity to help rebirth and light Mother Earth. So it's very connected to solstice and this time of year. And in this time, the temples would have been adorned with so many of these plants. We also call it Flor de Nochebuena. It's also related to stories around Huitzilopochtli, the left-handed hummingbird, and the relationship to solstice and the power of the sun. So there's a lot of really beautiful symbolism around this plant right now. And it's in oral tradition, you know, that's really connected to a lot of old story around our relationship to the earth, to the spirit beings. And it's only kind of in more recent history that it was called poinsettia, because there's a doctor who brought the plant to the United States. His name was Dr. Poinsett. And, you know, he didn't have a very kind or loving relationship to the indigenous Mexican people. So it's funny to me to be learning the new name, the ancient name Cuetlaxochil now in Nahuatl, and recognizing its importance in solstice and the indigenous ceremonies that existed pre-colonization. Like all these things, right? How this is true for all traditions around the world. We had our indigenous traditions everywhere that relate where we were in right relationship, and then in different ways they got incorporated into modern day things. And so it's nice to remember some of the history of those things. I just wanted to honor this particular plant for being with me, walking with me, reminding me to blossom on my path of destiny, to be in my heart center, to remember the importance of the solstice and the return of the sun. All the beautiful things that my ancestors associated, you know, my connection with Huitzilopochtli and the hummingbird energies that make all things possible, great healings, connection with the universe and the spirit world to do great healings with people. So have a lot of reverence for the poinsettia, or this particular plant as we know it. Xochitl is flower, so that's why it's Cuetlaxochil. Yeah. And so, yeah, we'll be doing a lot of work to clear, and people feeling a lot of vibration and clearing in their chakras, and alignment with these beautiful animal spirits and plant spirits that want to support us on our path of destiny, want to support us to be in healthy energy so that we can be in our gifts and our purpose and our service in the world.
That's wonderful. Well, we look forward to knowing more and having you share and bringing your energies of the plants and the animals and the chakras and whatever else spirit shows you to share to the Fairy and Human Relations Congress Global. And that'll be January 14th through the 16th, 2022. So we look forward to knowing more, Brenda. Thank you very much for coming.
Pleasure. Thank you so much, Donnie.
Okay.